So which Pokemon set do you think is better value for money right now, mid-May 2024? Evolving Skies or Team Up? Let's go have a look. Welcome back to the Chase Card, everyone. Now, about three or 4 months ago, I did a video, top 10 Pokemon booster boxes to invest in 2024. On that list, I did have Evolving Skies and Team Up. They seem like obvious choices. Obviously, Sun and Moon was the best performing booster box from the Sun and Moon era, the best performing set overall. And from the Sword and Shield era, Evolving Skies absolutely shot the lights out. And we all know, Evolving Skies is just a masterclass. It's in a league of its own. So today I wanted to go back and revisit both of those two strong sets, the strongest set from Sun and Moon, the strongest set from Sword and Shield, and just compare Team Up and Evolving Skies from a value proposition. I want to look at the top 5 chase cards from each set, Team Up and Evolving Skies, work out the total value of those chase cards, as well as just the individual top 5 chase cards, compare them side by side to see what the prices are doing, and to just see which booster box or elite trainer box is best value for money today, mid-May 2024, based on the value of those chase cards relative to the purchase price of the booster box in the ETB. Let's just get straight into it and have a look. So here's that number 1 chase card from Evolving Skies, the Umbreon VMAX. Now you guys are all very familiar with this card. It's been the most expensive card from the Sword and Shield era. That makes sense, right? Because Evolving Skies is obviously the best performing set, the most expensive set, the number 1 chase card. $950. These things are almost at $1,000 raw. These are raw prices, US prices. 3 months back, this Umbreon, otherwise known as the Moonbreon, was $540, now $950. It won't be long before this thing's doubled from its price 3 months ago of $540. Like, honestly, this thing's about to crack $1,000. It could be any day now this thing cracks $1,000 raw for a raw card. Imagine dumping $1,000 US on a raw card. That's how popular this thing is. So there's the Umbreon, the number 1 chase card from Evolving Skies, right? Here's the number 1 chase card from Team Up from the Sun and Moon era. $790. 3 months ago was $722. Fantastic card. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is, as far as the artwork and everything, it's a really nice card. It's a clean card. It's just a good looking card to have in your collection. But $790 raw. So the Umbreon was what, $950, so about $160 more. Now the Team Up booster box is significantly more expensive than the Evolving Skies booster box, but we're going to get into that toward the back end of the video. We're going to look at those prices. But there you go, the number 1 chase card from Evolving Skies kicking Team Up's ass. A bit of a different story here. When you get them graded into PSA 10, I've got 2 PSA 10 examples here for those cards. So here's the Umbreon, $1,400 US, recent sale in a PSA 10. That's 2,100 Aussie dollars for my Aussie neighbours. Now, that might seem like a hell of a lot of money to spend on one card. And it's $1,400 US. That is a lot of money for a card, to just buy a card. I mean, you could buy a shit ton of booster boxes with that same money. Now, I would say maybe not from an investment standpoint, potentially from an investment standpoint, but more specifically from a collector's standpoint. If you do like to spend this sort of money on single cards and you do like this card, why wouldn't you just buy the Umbreon in a PSA 10? Like, to buy it raw for almost $1,000 and then you get it graded and it doesn't hit a 10, why wouldn't you just spend a few $100s more and get the PSA 10 guaranteed? So that's not actually an expensive price for the PSA 10 relative to the raw price. Here's the Latios and Latios in a PSA 10. US $2,400, that's 3,600 Aussie dollars. Now, if you remember, this card raw was about $160 cheaper than the Umbreon. Yet in a PSA 10, it's $2,400. It's $1,000 US more than the Umbreon. You could get a raw Umbreon in mint condition and a PSA 10 Umbreon, right, for the exact same price as one PSA 10 in the Latios. So I haven't looked at the pop reports, the population reports for PSA 10s for these cards. So I'll tell you now, I have not looked at the pop reports. I don't know if this one's so much more expensive because it's got a lower pop report number. I just don't know. I haven't looked at that data yet. But that's interesting, right? To see that the number 1 team up chase card is significantly more valuable in a PSA 10 than the Umbreon, even though it's cheaper in the raw price. So that's like, let's say you had the raw Latios and Latios in mint condition, and you got it graded, you got a 10. That's like about $1,500 to $1,600 profit. $1,500 to $1,600 profit once you take out postage and grading costs. Probably about $1,550 profit. So that's a crazy margin. That's a crazy profit margin from the raw price to the PSA 10 price. But anyway, they're the 2 top chase cards, right? The number 1 chase card from each set, from Evolving Skies and Sun and Moon, from Team Up. Let's move on. The number 2 chase card, right, from Evolving Skies. Check this out. The Rayquaza VMAX is hitting $453. This is insane. That's not even the most expensive card. That's the number 2 chase card. Raw. What an awesome set Evolving Skies has come to be, right? If you've got Evolving Skies in your collection, you should be really happy, right? Especially if you paid retail price on day 1, like hello. $250, $249 3 months ago, $453 now. Again, this is up around that 90% mark, very similar to the Umbreon. There's a number 2 chase card from Evolving Skies. How does that compare to the number 2 chase card from Sun and Moon's Team Up? Here's the Gengar and Mimikyu GX, number 2 chase card in Team Up. $284, 3 months ago, $271. It's gone up like $12, $13 in 3 months. That's a nothing burger. Now, this video is not to criticize Team Up. In fact, I mentioned Team Up, like I said, in a video I did 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months back. Putting this in my top 10 booster box investments for 2024. So Team Up's still really awesome. This is definitely not to throw shade at Team Up. But, you know, the Sun and Moon era really had its day in the sun last year. And like I say, this year is the year for Sword and Shield, right? Sword and Shield's about to go through, or is going through, what Sun and Moon went through last year. So you're going to see a lot more markup, I think, in a lot of the Sword and Shield sets. But there you go, number 2 chase card, $284 versus the number 2 chase card in Evolving Skies, which was $450. So far, Evolving Skies kicking ass, kicking Team Up's ass. Here's the number 3 chase card from Evolving Skies, the Leafeon VMAX. Secret rare, really cool card. You got that giant Leafeon there. $315. 3 months ago was $160. This thing's almost doubled. It's basically doubled in 3 months, and a lot of that growth has happened since the first week of April. First week of April, this thing was still 160, 164, and yeah, it's almost doubled since the first week of April. So again, Evolving Skies absolutely on fire right now. I don't know how sustainable these prices are. I don't know how long they're going to last. I don't know if it's a bubble that's going to go off the cliff a little bit. They might come back to some sort of reality, but you just don't know. The single card market is so volatile. So I'm not recommending any of these single cards as like investments. These are simply from a collector's standpoint. We're going to look at the price of the booster boxes and all that shortly. Here's the number 3 chase card from Team Up, Magikarp and Wailord GX. This card's $251, call it $250. It's come off a little bit. 3 months ago it was $260, $263. It's come down slightly in the last 3 months, but definitely heading the opposite direction to some of the other cards we saw in Evolving Skies, which are all heading north right now. So really nice card. A lot of these cards actually in both sets are really nice cards. They're really good sets from just a collector's standpoint. Just based on the artworks and everything. That's my opinion, right? It's subjective. But again, the number 3 chase card, $250. And back here in Evolving Skies was $315. So $65 more for Evolving Skies number 3 chase card. So again, Evolving Skies kicking Team Up's ass. In Australia we say ass, but I'm trying to do the American one. It's ass, kicking ass. Right on, man. Forgive me for that one. Glaceon VMAX. Number 4 chase card in Evolving Skies, $212. Again, 3 months ago, $146. So not up as significantly as the last 3 Evolving Skies cards we looked at. However, really good sign, trending north, and really positive signs for Evolving Skies singles. Glaceon VMAX, $212 today, the number 4 chase card. Here's the number 4 chase card from Team Up. Eevee and Snorlax. Eevee and Snorlax, guys. GX Secret Rare, Rainbow Rare. $128, $131 3 months ago, and $128 today. Again, this thing's dropped a little bit in price. However, these are still really strong prices. When you get down to the number 4 chase card from any set, and you're still well over $100, talk about a strong set, right? Really strong set, Team Up. But there's the number 4 chase card, $128. Like I said, the number 4 chase card from Evolving Skies here was $212, almost $100 more than the Team Up one. Getting down to the 5th most expensive chase card from Evolving Skies, this Sylveon VMAX Secret Rare. Again, I'm not huge on Sylveon, a bit zesty for me, the old Sylveon. But great artwork, great looking card. If you like Sylveon, very nice card to have in your collection. $198. Again, this is the 5th most expensive card from Evolving Skies. And we're talking about these things bordering $200. Raw. I don't know if we've seen a set like this before. Like, Evolving Skies is just insane. 3 months ago, $134. Again, it's about to crack $200. How does that compare to Team Up's 5th most expensive card? $123, about $75 less for Team Up's 5th most expensive card, which is this Erica's Hospitality. 3 months ago, this was $131. It's now $123. 6 months ago, yeah, it was about $136. So again, it's come off like $13, $14 in the last 6 months. So it's on the way down a little bit. So look, if we fast forward a year or 6 months, some of the Evolving Skies single card prices could come down, could taper off a little bit. I don't think a lot, but a little bit. Just like these Team Up cards have now. Now that some of the hype has died off a little bit, and people are focusing on a Sword and Shield, you know. So that could happen to Evolving Skies, but I think even if Evolving Skies cards dropped 50%, like, it would still be an incredible set with a ton of value. And I don't think they're going to drop 50%, but just such a strong set. So there you go. There's the top 5 chase cards from Team Up and Evolving Skies, from Sun and Moon's number 1 set to Sword and Shield's number 1 set. Now, Evolving Skies prices are absolutely destroying Team Up's prices in the single card market. So which one's better value? Here's the Evolving Skies booster box, just shy of $700. $692 for an Evolving Skies booster box, right? How much is a Team Up booster box? $2,300. Now, again, I want to reiterate, does this make Team Up a bad investment? No, not at all. And I recommended getting this at $2,000, 3-4 months ago, and it's up, $300 since I did that video, more or less. So again, from an investment standpoint, I love both. But right now, mid-May 2024, let's say I've got, this one's $2,300, let's say I've got $2,500 to spend. Would I buy right now, would I buy Team Up for $2,300? Or would I rather buy 3 Evolving Skies boxes, and that leaves me with a couple $100 cash left over, because that would be less than $2,100 for 3 Evolving Skies booster boxes. Let's say for the same price as the Team Up booster box, I can buy 3 Evolving Skies booster boxes, and say a couple of Paldea Evolved booster boxes, 5 booster boxes, for the same price as 1 Team Up. What do you think I'd buy today? Would I buy the Team Up? No. I'd buy 3 Evolving Skies booster boxes, and yeah, a Paldea Evolved and a Paradox Rift, or probably 2 Paldea Evolved. Or just keep the couple $100 change left over and just have 3 Evolving Skies booster boxes. 3 Evolving Skies booster boxes being cheaper than 1 Team Up booster box. Look at those single card prices. And the reason when I'm evaluating the booster boxes and single card markets like this, the reason I don't talk about pull rates being a massive problem is because these sets, like this Evolving Sky set's like 3 years old, more or less now, right? The Team Up sets, I think, about 4.5 to 5 years old off memory. I might be off on that. But the point is, these sets are a few years old now, right? And if the pull rates for any of these cards are really easy, really, you know, every second booster box you open, you pulled an Umbreon, then the price wouldn't be $1,000 or $950 raw, would it? So the reason I don't let pull rates affect my evaluation of these sets is because enough time has passed where the market's worked out the relative value of these card prices based on all of that secondary information, based on pull rates, based on print runs. The market's worked out what they're willing to pay now. So I don't need to rip my hair out trying to work out pull rates before I make a decision here. Now, I might do a video on pull rates in the near future. I may or may not do pull rates on some of these just for general information, but I don't let it affect my investment philosophy, because like I say, I normally invest in these booster boxes once they've been out for 6 to 12 months. And by then the market's already worked out what they think is relatively a fair price for these single cards based on pull rates, based on print runs. And that's why I don't dive into those sort of topics too much. But there you go. Right now, mid-May 2024, the best value for money by far is the Evolving Skies booster boxes. For sure, I would buy 3 Evolving Skies booster boxes cheaper than one Team Up booster box. Again, I think Team Up booster box at certain times has been a really good investment and it should already be in your collection. But right now, if I had $2.5 grand or $2,000 odd to spend, that money would be going to Evolving Skies booster boxes. No question, no doubt in my mind. Just look at those single cards, guys. I don't want to ramble on too much. You get the idea. One quick thing I want to look at before I close this video off, right? The Elite Trainer box. If you don't want to fork out almost $700 for a booster box or $2,300 for a Team Up booster box, the Evolving Skies Elite Trainer boxes here, $107. I don't know how reliable this TCG data is sometimes. I think they're a little bit pricier than $107 right now, right? In Australia, we pay about $200 to $250 for an Evolving Skies Elite Trainer box. Incredible value. I think really incredible value. So if you don't want to dump big money on a booster box, grab yourselves an Evolving Skies ETB. These things are one of the most undervalued products, in my opinion, on the Pokemon market. Now, ETBs don't generally do as well as booster boxes, but this ETB is so bloody undervalued. I would just be picking these up left, right, and center if I was you guys. Here's a Team Up Elite Trainer box, $535. Again, I would rather buy, I can buy 5 Evolving Skies Elite Trainer boxes, 5, for the same price as a Team Up Elite Trainer box. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I've got $500 odd to spend, I'd buy 5 ETBs, not 1 ETB from Team Up. So there's my evaluation. There's the top 5 chase cards from each set. Let me know in the comments. Give me your feedback, what you guys think. Do you have Evolving Skies? Do you have Team Up? Are you looking to accumulate more of these in your collection? Are you chasing the Evolving Skies ETBs like I am? Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on the Chase Card. Bye.